I know that you're used to your catalog ads having a white background and being boring as hell. And yeah, they make money, but they're not exciting. If you're not using Marpipe, then you're missing out on one of the greatest creative strategy leverage points in your Facebook ads to make easily an extra 15 to 50 cents for every single dollar. So today we're going to break down the creative strategy to maximize this cheat code in Facebook. And if you want to learn more about Marpipe, there's a link down below. You can sign up. You'll never pay full price. You get white glove treatment from day one. Anyway, Dan, the founder of Marpipe, and I sat down to really break this down. Let's get into it.
Let's talk about creative. Like, why do all DPA ads look like crap?
Yeah, no, there's three reasons for that. One, because the product feed was initially set up to just pull from Shopify, so it's the ugliest, boringest thing that you have on your website. But also that worked. And to be fair, it's not an accident that DPA ads look like Google Shopping ads and look like Amazon. There is a reason that these experiences are all very universal, and it's because basically the consumer expectation has been set by the market. Got it. Number two, it is extraordinarily difficult to manually go and make this thing exciting. I've done it. And like I've had designers go up and update the thing, and you can have like one variant, and like that is extremely expensive and a massive time suck. And I've dealt with other solutions over the years that like kind of optimize that stuff, but it is extremely difficult to even know if it's going to help. Because by the time you get done doing it and deploying it and testing it, maybe the market shifted and all advertising got better or worse. You don't even know if your effort paid off. Right. And then like the third thing is that I don't think people realize the value of how to optimize the creative exposure for these types of placements, because they just say, oh, that's a thing. I'm checking that box. I don't like it because I'm motivated by, to be fair, I think a lot of creatives are motivated by what's exciting and their ego being like, I made this ad. It looks great. I'm going to run and see if it makes money. I don't care. I want to make money. And if I can give people a user experience that's exciting, then I'll lean into that. And I think because of so many of those things, the lack of ability for people to easily do it on their own. And also it's a sandbox with not a lot of options. Yeah. So people just look at it as like, I can spend my time making this catalog and maybe and I'll do some colors here, there, blah, blah, blah. Or I can go make 10,000 UGC videos where I'm on camera having fun. One of those things will print money for years. The other one is you on camera.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and this is why like we started Marpipe, right? Because we saw back in the day before Marpipe, I used to run a performance creative agency.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we would start working with these like e-com brands that had these we'd look in their ad account and we'd be like, God damn, 85% of their ad spend is going into DPA. Like, and assuming that they have the setup correct, there's nothing we can do as creatives, right? To like optimize, to make that any better, right?
Yeah, maybe you're starting to play with the frames or something like that, which are
nerfed.
Yeah, just
frames
no bueno.
Yeah. Also, little known fact, frames are when you run a frame, it only runs on Facebook feeds is the only place not on Instagram or
so it won't show anywhere else. So it's like only this limited set. So if I'm like a cool brand where 90% of my deliveries on Instagram and I'm testing frames, you're not doing anything other than making your machine dumb.
Also, it like always cuts off your product image and stuff, and it's just
like people don't get the padding right. Like I was dealing with a business where all of their product image from Shopify are 4x6.
Yeah.
And I just like, well, so all their DPA ads have these white borders on them. Yeah. And it's just like there's a simple fix. It's just a matter of you caring about this delivery.
Exactly. So that's why we built Marpipe, because we were like, man, like, what if someone had the ability to like totally have complete creative control over what their catalog ads look like, right? And be able to do like experiment with things like bringing in more product data into the actual creative. Like when you see a catalog ad, you just see the image of the product, right? But like there's so much more information about the product that can help consumers make, like bringing in the price into the creative.
Sure.
If it's on sale, slash through the original price and show the sale price.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right? If it's like, if you have like a buy now, pay later scheme going on,
sure.
Right? Calculate what the buy now, pay later price is. That's like having an always on sale.
Yeah, slap on the Klarna logo. Call it a day.
Right. And also multi-image, like bringing in multiple images into the to be able to see if you're selling furniture, right?
Yeah.
Imagine being able, and like DPA rips for like furniture, home goods, apparel companies.
Oh yeah.
Being able to not just see a flat lay of like the shirt or the couch, like in floating in the white space in the matrix,
right?
But seeing it in like a nice interior design setting, or seeing the clothes on a model,
yeah,
right? Like just gives more product context to
Absolutely.
that specific SKU.
Totally.
That definitely that will lift conversion, right?
100%.
And so, but it's just impossible to do that, because if you have like 100 SKUs, 500 SKUs, you're gonna have to design.
Yeah, the photo shoot will be for you just can't do it.
You can't do it. So you need to have a system that actually can scale it, and that's exactly what Marpipe does. So using a tool like Marpipe,
right,
you're able to go from having zero creative control over your catalog ads to having complete creative control over them. And so you're able to sort of bring in elements that you were never able to include in your creative before, and start testing and experimenting with it.
And without having to invest heavily in making 10,000 images, because the program is doing it in like a minute.
Exactly.
And ultimately, one of the things I love about that is like, if you do have that new customer conversion event, and what creative treatment appeals to people that haven't bought from you before? What creative treatment gets people who do know you to really be interested? Like maybe there needs to be heavy branding in the color scheme, or maybe there needs to be more highlights in these are our CAC products that we're running a discount on. Let's make sure that these individual items have the discount labeled on all of the prices. And as we change the price, we don't have to go back and re-render 1,000 images.
Exactly, right.
Like the fact that you can do that dynamically in a way where you don't have to actually change the ad means that you don't have to reset the machine when you're paying a hefty price to teach it how to do its job.
That's one of the coolest things about testing catalog creative, is because you actually there's no learning period.
Right.
It's actually just like normally when you test like static image ads, you have to wait for them to learn and see like how they perform in a few days. You do not have a learning curve like that with catalog creative.
Yeah, because they're leveraging so much Facebook data on the source feed and consumer buying information. Like, you're leveraging trillions of data points that already exist. Facebook's using your content to give somebody that highly engaging, positive user experience. So there's like, it just makes sense that you should be also treating this thing that could easily be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80% of your budget with the same level of intent as you do your landing page.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like it gives marketing teams like more ability to have like more influence over how their DPA performs over time. Because like let's say you're running a sales event, right? Man, that is one of the lowest hanging fruit like performance wins for DPA. Like you would have no way of showing in your DPA creative that you are running a sale previously. So sale heavy brands, like, dude, I mean, like they could not run sales using DPA before.
Right? Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you could not visualize that there's like a sale happening in the actual creative. That changes the game completely for them.
No, absolutely. Like the fact that you could have a custom set of info on the treatment that says this is the Black Friday sale.
And I know that like as performance marketers, we don't really like to talk about like brand and brand lift, but like for brands that don't run sales, right? They are really heavy on like, okay, like we need to get like, they're heavy on brand lift, right? And brand recognition, right? And so when you're running catalog ads for like a brand that doesn't rely on sales and promotions, it's important to like, you're paying for every impression that you serve with catalog creative, and it's traditionally unbranded. Right. And in Marpipe, there's a button where you literally press a toggle button and it removes the white backgrounds from everything and makes them transparent. Slap in a branded background with your brand colors and slap in your logo. Boom.
Done.
You are now for free, like for every impression that you're spending, you are now getting brand recognition and brand lift for every impression, where otherwise you would not.
Running that exclusively will improve the efficiency on your Google search.
That's great. I never even thought about that, actually.
I mean, I've done it at scale. Trust me. Because now you just made your brand something that people know. Because, the brand's up at the page logo. Okay, cool. But now if it's in each individual product.
I wonder if there's like a way, like, and I'm just thinking in real time here, I wonder if there's a way we could approach brand, like these big brands who run DPA, like they're serving so many unbranded impressions.
Sure.
Is there a way we could like show them like, hey, here's how much brand lift you might be missing out on?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, I've done power lift studies with Facebook and cross-platform studies for incremental lift with branding and not branding. And back in the day, I've done some of this stuff, like in the original Disruptor Group and some other things. And there was a direct correlation to Google search and Amazon traffic when the brand was actually reflected in the DPA ads, if the DPA was a significant portion of the budget, right? I mean, if you're getting 5,000 impressions a day with your DPA, odds are it's not going to move the needle. Right. If you're spending $5,000 a day, you're probably going to rank higher on Amazon and make more money with your branded search, right? Because now your brand name exists. Yeah. And if you have and also like one of the things with the DPA is there's only so many things you can do, right? There's the primary text, there's the highlight, like, and all of it's truncated. So one of the beautiful things with these overlays with the brand or anything else is you can squeeze more information. And ultimately, I also want to call out that maybe more information isn't necessarily a good thing. Sometimes the best performing DPA ads aren't the ones that are squeezed full of stuff. Yeah. It's, I know what I'm looking for. Yeah. This is it. Oh, I haven't seen this. Like the number one experience that I see is, I know what I'm looking for. I'm shopping for dog leashes or t-shirts or whatever. I know what I'm in the market for. This is a new brand. Yeah. I haven't seen this one yet. I haven't bought yet. Yeah. I've said no to everything else. Right. Immediately, I'm going to scroll. Yeah. Right. So while all of this stuff is fun, also remember that the real hack is making it interesting, but simple. Yeah.
There's also like categories of like companies that fit into this thing where it's like they need to add product context to their product image. Like for instance, like beauty and healthcare companies. Sure. Like the picture of the product is just a cylinder tube. Yeah. Like you don't know, like, okay, like let's say you're in the market, like, you know, not you, but maybe you're right. Or no, you're in the market for nail polish. Sure. Okay. So like, you know, you just see like a tube, right? And like for healthcare companies, they have like very, like they all have like these value props that really differentiate them from others. Like maybe they like have like, you know, a certain ingredient that is really special. Yeah. Right. Maybe they have lack thereof, like they're all natural, right? Yeah. And so there's all these like, there's specific, it's a very competitive space in like supplements and in beauty and in cosmetics. And then there's
GMO free, vegan, all natural, whatever you're like.
These things should be like, because otherwise you're just looking at pictures of tubes.
Yeah, like what can you put in 10 letters or less?
Yeah, right. So like having that sort of added context is like can be a make or break for brands like that.
Absolutely. And if it's a vertical product, you can have iconography on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Boom, done deal. Like the fact you can put that, the trick is making it simple. Iconography with product images is great. Yeah. And I mean, ultimately you have to understand the DPA ad is not, video ads are there to educate people and to get them interested. Image ads are there for people to understand more context, which is generally why videos sit higher in the funnel. Images sit more lower in the funnel. You can check your CPMs and your frequency and your percentage of spend, and like you can do a 4PI analysis and understand Facebook's using your ads. DPA ads are, generally speaking, I'm in the market. Either I like this brand and want to see what they have, or I don't know about this one because I haven't made a decision yet. That's like 85% of the use case. And if you're a retailer, for instance, like selling other things, like if you're Macy's, you can have Nike, Adidas, you know, and whatever. You can have all of the brand logos in if you want to. But like the point is, it's just a little bit more. And what really you have to figure out is how do I make the simplest, best sales pitch by adding a little bit of value that is a pattern interrupt from what most people are seeing. Right. And I'll say this too. Some of the best DPA exposures I've had, some of the best brands that I've seen are ones where what they're using this space to push lifestyle.
Yeah, right. That's very interesting.
And like Dandy Del Mar, I mentioned them earlier. The Dandy Del Mar catalog is all lifestyle pictures.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
There's no product.
They don't have just flat lay product.
No flat lay products. It's just these people living like their best life. and you're like, I want to live that life. Here are all the products. Which one's right for me?
Right.
And they crush.
Right. So, and one interesting piece is like, we have brands who come to us who want to do exactly that.
Yeah.
But cannot because their feed doesn't already include lifestyle images.
Sure.
And they're like, okay, so the way we have our feed set up is, it's all just like flat lays of our products. It's like products on white background, or
it's like 3D renders and it's not even a real product.
Sure. Right. Yeah. But we do really want to test bringing in lifestyle images into our feed and running that in our catalog ads. But maybe we don't want to have that as image number one in our PDP.
Sure.
So like Marpipe is a tool that you could use to actually just like insert the lifestyle creative and then just like test having lifestyle creative in your catalog ads as opposed to, the flat lays without having to change what your image one in your PDP.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, and what is really important here too is your Facebook ads should be incremental to the rest of your business. It's a business amplification device. Yeah. So if I know that my website is kind of dialed in, I'm just trying to find what is the Facebook ad that best sets people up to land on my website and be ready to buy. Now, if that means that I've got a lifestyle business that's heavily branded, if my ads are also lifestyle and heavily branded, then when somebody lands on my webpage, that user experience has far more continuity. Conversion rate going to go through the roof. Dylan Ender from Heat Map was here yesterday. We were talking about that, right? And so that continuity isn't just in images. It's also in vibe. It's also in brand. And you'll see a lot of performance marketers don't really care about brand. And I think that's because they're not motivated by the business results of their marketing. Yeah, right. And if you are there's a big difference between a growth marketer and a performance marketer. Yeah. And you'll see performance marketers run catalog at the bottom of the funnel to get the best return on ad spend they possibly can. And then the business owner says, great, where's all the extra money? Yeah. And it's not there. Yeah. So if you can push these product design treatments in your catalog, it will lift all other things. Yeah. Because Facebook is ultimately the volume knob on the rest of your business model. And if that first touch gets the rest of the brand vibe, you've nailed it. Yeah. Like one of the best treatments of that I've seen lately, just in like branding stuff, Balenciaga had this thing where it was like the most obnoxious stuff ever, right? But like you knew it immediately, right? Like, and it maybe made sales, who knows? But like the idea is the ads got the vibe of the brand across. You immediately knew what you were buying into. Because to be fair, nobody cares about your product. Yeah. Nobody cares about your business. Yeah. You are not special. Like 99.999% of products are commodities. The reason somebody buys from you versus somebody else is either because you've been able to solve a problem by overcoming objection for value. They're like, but wait, there's more moment of like Ginsu knives and all the Guthrie Banker infomercials, which you should 100% be looking at. But also like,
those are textbooks.
Is there functionally that big of a difference between like any number of like New Balance to Nike to Reebok to Hoka? It's the reason people are buying. And I think the best example of this in the lesson, if you ever watch Mad Men, Don Draper's character, part of the treatment for his psychology is that he was teaching people the consumerism that was pushed by him was not that you're buying this product to solve a problem. You're sure, but you're also buying this product because of a lot of other reasons. And one of the most important ones is what it makes people think about you. And ultimately, you're spending money for aspiration, whether it's gift giving for Mother's Day. I want to make my mom or my wife or my mother of my daughter, I want to make her feel a certain way. I'm buying to aspire to that emotional response. Right. Or I'm buying this car versus that car because when I roll up, people are going to think a certain way, which is also one reason I love going to like highfalutin events in my Kia. And like everybody's got their Lamborghini, Porsche, all sorts of stuff. And I roll in like a $30,000 electric car from like Korea. And I'm like, here are the keys, homie. And like, I didn't get a car wash. Like it's a complete whatever. But like we are able to spend money on items to ultimately help us with our identity and the quality of life and who we are going to be. Right. And if your ads can push that across, then you are now no longer a commodity. You are helping people ultimately spend money to improve their self-worth and their image of themselves and what they think people think of them. And being able to get that into your catalog ad versus just a picture of a sneaker is fundamentally different, right? So like, if it's just the shoe, great. But if it's the shoe and it's like a runner in Central Park and like, oh, I want to be that guy. I really want to get out and like, I got to start running all this stuff. The ad itself, the creative, can get you buying in to that lifestyle. And ultimately, that should be as early in the touch point in the customer journey as possible. And the fact that people don't look at that in their catalog ads and creative to ultimately hack brand growth and repurchase rate and LTV and stickiness is, to me, at one point upsetting and shocking, but also an amazing opportunity to provide people a turnkey solution to some of their biggest business problems that allow them to spend the other 98% of their time worrying about things that are more important.
Dude.
The honest truth is, not every tool is right for every use, and not every business is the same. So Dan and I dive into probably the most valuable part of our conversation right here with our DPA ads right for you. And the honest truth is, the real answer might be no, and that's okay.